We are live, and welcome everyone back to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I am your illustrious host, Widow's Son, and with me is Dr. Cyrus Oblivion. Today is a huge milestone in the life of our little channel here. We are on our 20th episode, and it's so hard to believe that we have actually come to this point, and we've found some great people that love listening to our show every week and interacting with us and everything. And like we always say every week, we love every single one of you. Your support means the world to us. And today is a very, very big day. Once again, 20th episode. Let's see. Wanderer's here. Scud is here. Let's see. We got a few more popping in. And Doc, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a long week. Glad it's the weekend, and unfortunately, weekends are only 2 days. If we had a 3-day weekend every weekend, it'd be much better.
I can concur with that, definitely. So yeah, we got some big announcements to make today.
All right, before we get to those, how are you doing, man?
Well, to quote the dude, strikes and gutters, ups and downs. Long week at work. Played some Magic the last couple of days. I'm such a fucking nerd that it's not even funny. It's like reliving high school. I was actually telling some friends of mine the other night. I'm just like, I live in my new apartment, and I'm getting better at budgeting my money, right? But when I go and go grocery shopping and everything, I make sure that, of course, my kitties have everything that they need. My Fiona and Whisper, they got to have their litter and their treats and canned food and all of that stuff. So I make sure that they're taken care of first. But I was telling them, I'm like, I have a 1-bedroom apartment. It's bigger than my previous one. And when I go grocery shopping, I grocery shop like I'm in college again. And I go and play Magic with a few friends over here, and I play Dungeons and Dragons with them too. And I'm just like, I live like I'm in college and do things like I used to do when I was in high school. So, did you hear that?
I did.
Yeah. Fiona gets to chime in. So, but I mean, I'm doing all right, man. Finally getting honestly, I moved in here over a month ago, and I still have things that I have not unpacked yet.
Yeah, I've moved around so much that there are some things I just never unpack. And so I'm just like, do I even need these? So
no, it's not the fact that I'm asking myself if I need to unpack them. Like, the thing that I haven't, the main thing I haven't unpacked is all of my books. So hang on, and let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I have 3 boxes and 1 medium-sized clear storage tub full of books, and I still have not unpacked them. But we will get there. But so yeah, we got some big announcements to make today.
Yes, we do.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the very first one, and this is the biggest one. Or actually, we'll start with the smallest one, and then we'll move to the biggest one. It's like opening your birthday presents or your Christmas presents. You save the big one for last. So, the verbal wrestling match between Dr. Cyrus Oblivion and the Wanderer has been scheduled. It will be Saturday, September the 19th. Same Sanctum time, same Sanctum channel. 2 hours, verbal wrestling match against these two mental titans. So we have that scheduled. Now, from what I understand, Wanderer has been talking a little smack on Twitter. He's he's made a promotional video for this. He's been doing some pictures and art and everything that we're gonna post up. I mean, we're literally kind of like advertising this kind of like one of those old school boxing posters. You know what I mean? Um, yes, I know. So I do what?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you there was a little echo, I guess. So yeah, we have yeah, I guess after Wanderer takes you down, he's got someone next in his sights. So yeah, September the 19th, everyone be sure to tune in. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your fish, all that good stuff. But make sure that you're here for the verbal wrestling match between Dr. Cyrus Oblivion and the Wanderer. Now, should we? Do you think they're ready for the next one? Do you think they're ready for the big one?
I think they might be.
Okay. All right. So, as of late, everyone has noticed that Sir Stew Dog has not been with us. Um, Once again, the reasons are completely unknown. Um, he's been posting a lot of his own content. I'm sure he's been busy with that. He actually, not too long ago, just surpassed 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations to Stew Dog for that. Um, and I don't want everyone to take what we're saying as we don't love Stew Dog. We do. We love him very much. He is a humongous part of this show. Um, he is definitely with us in spirit. And, I respect the fact that he's doing his own content and doing his own thing. And I will always support Stew Dog's channel in one way or another, whether it be views and likes, or if I can, once he gets monetized, send him a little cash or something like that. Um, Definitely help him out in any way that we can. And we miss him terribly. And Stew Dog, when you hear this, once again, man, we love you. We respect the hell out of you. And your seat in this studio is always open. Whenever you want to come back or come on as a guest or what have you, your seat is always open. It is not going anywhere. You've definitely left a very, very positive and good mark on the Sanctum Sanctorum show, and we really, really appreciate you more than we could ever say. Um, but and we miss you. We do. We miss you a lot. But we we want to have we want to. It's so hard to have someone missing that that you've been working with and having such a good time playing off of, and a little bit of back and forth here and there. But we do have a big announcement that I'm going to make here in a moment. Doc, do you have you got anything you want to say about our good friend Stew Dog?
Yeah, I mean the times I've spoken with him and that we've hung out, granted online. I mean, I've really enjoyed the guy, so I always would love to have him come back. I mean, he's always welcome in my book too.
And he will. Apparently, there's some verbal back and forth between Wanderer and Sterno and everyone. So
yeah, I'm having fun just reading this right now.
Right. I mean, it's almost like sometimes we don't even really have to say anything. Like we could just go live, mute the mics, and just watch the live chat. So
we should do that for like 5 minutes.
No, God, no. Dead air is bad air sometimes.
But I'm not saying we should leave it dead. We should just maybe do JR and Jerry the King Lawler type commentary on it.
It's a slobber knocker, King. It's a slobber knocker. So, on to the big announcement. Over the last couple of weeks, Doc and I have been talking, and we have decided that we are going to bring in a new co-host. Now, once again, Stu Dog, you are still a part of this channel. Your seat is still open. You are always going to be a co-host of this show. But we thought that we would bring someone else in and just to kind of, so we can all play off each other and we can, have, another part of opinion and discussion and things like that. And Doc and I, like I said, we've been talking over the last couple of weeks, and we narrowed it down to a few. And there was one that stood out above them all. And now we're not going to say who it is, but we are going to go ahead and bring him in. He is sitting backstage right now. I know he's listening, but he is going to be making his debut as our co-host on the 20th episode of the Sanctum Sanctorum. So right now, I want everyone to welcome our new co-host. And here he is.
I hate you, dog.
Wanderer,
hello.
You have been chosen.
I've been summoned. I'm the chosen one.
Wanderer, I choose you. Now throw the Pokeball.
Throw off Steno's head while you're at it. But yeah, if I could say anything, honestly, it's thank you so much, because this is really awesome. I've never been like a co-host on a show or anything before, and honestly, doing this is very nerve-wracking. Like, I'm very nervous right now. And I just wanted to say thank you so much, because I've enjoyed since day one, and I'm honored to be a part of it finally. So thank you so much, Widows, and you too, Doc, even though I hate you. So.
No verbal parlay for your first show with us?
What's the barnyard? Well, I found it. I found it. Yeah. Okay. Verbal. Yeah. I was touching this the whole time. I didn't just find it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm also holding clutch powers for Sterno, because Sterno likes clutch powers.
And Miss Sphinx is here. Welcome. You are always welcome indeed. So, yes, like I said, Doc and I had just been talking over the last couple of weeks, and we just decided that, we had you on as a guest. We had you in on the panel show last week, and it just made a lot of sense. It really did. And you are a welcome addition to the show. Like I said, Stu Dog's chair is always open, but you are now a permanent fixture on the show with us. I mean, of course, I'm sure, there may be times like, hey, I can't do it today or whatever, because life happens, but you now have a permanent seat here.
I'm absolutely on a part of this, dude. Sorry, my throat's a bit clogged. But yeah, honestly,
that's why you keep a drink handy right next to you.
Oh, I got one. I think I don't know what happened there. My throat just go weird. But yeah, honestly, thank you so much. I'll try not to let the show down by being awkward or fighting the dog too much,
Well, if you let the show down, then we have to let Doc flog you with a laser whip.
Oh no, he's gonna kick my ass. No.
No. Doc gets to hit you with his giant foam cowboy hat.
Oh, the pain. That will hurt so much. I have weak and fragile bones. I'm British, remember?
Doc,
I'm a rough and tumble American. I do karate. I'm used to taking a fall and getting hurt. So, I could totally pull a Goldberg spear on you.
Oh, no. Doc will diamond cut you.
I mean, there's been a couple times where me and my friends in the past, like when we were in school and stuff, don't tell the farmer we did this, but we used to go over to the farmer's fields and then get the hay bales, push them all together to make a massive, like, kind of arena thing. And we used to fight in there and push each other off the hay bales. So do you really want to mess, Doc? Do you really want to mess? Like, I will hit you with a baguette. That's what I will do. Because we did that one time. We started.
Bread.
We had baguette wars. It was like I was Darth Bagel and someone else was like
Darth Bagel.
We did that.
There you go, Wanderer, aka the Ball Assassin, aka Darth Bagel.
So I had some friends. They were.
Well, wait a minute. I have a question. Is it Darth Bagel with cream cheese?
It's just I'm just a plain ass bagel, dude. I'm British too. Did I forget to add that I'm British?
So he is definitely confirming the plainness of it. So yeah, I had some friends when they went to they were working at a
unacceptable.
I had some friends. They were working. Are you saying it's unacceptable? I had friends.
No, I'm saying it's unacceptable. You called me plain. There must have been a bit of lag.
So there was some friends I had. They were working at a grocery store one summer in I think it was Panama City, and when they would get bored and they had to take out the limes and all the expired fruit, they would play key lime hockey with the expired fruit. And so it's just like this small little lime was used as a hockey puck in the store.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. So if we get you and your friends together with that group, between the Bagel War and key lime hockey, man, we would just have the grocery store Olympics occurring right there.
I can picture Yoda saying, "Begun the Bagel War has." I think you guys would use like rotten fruit mortars, and we'd just be charging the battlefield with baguettes in our hand.
So there was a commercial I had remembered and finally found and posted to some of my social media accounts, and I'll try to dig it up here. It's one of the weirdest things I've seen. Well, I'll send it to y'all, but it's what y'all can do to look it up. It's called Eagle Man Freak Dealer Commercial. So in the Chicago area, there was this insurance company, Eagle Man, and they were known for having just atrociously bad commercials. And what would happen is you would usually have these women get into a bind with their car or their insurance company, and they wouldn't know what to do. And then somewhere this eagle would come out and be like, "I've got something for you." And then he would lay an egg, and sometimes the eggs would hatch with a little egret holding their insurance policy in his mouth. And that was the advertisement. It was like the weirdest thing. Well, in one of them, she's in the office with a car dealer, and and the car dealer is this woman wearing a mustache. Her hair is pulled up into a bun. Like, they don't try to make her look like a man other than the mustache. And she's talking in a voice like this. And this lady's like, "Eagle Man, I need your help." And he comes walking in and is like, "I've got something for you." And then turns around and shoots out 2 eggs. And they just strategically on the car dealer, car saleswoman or salesman. And she's holding them out in front of her, and she's like, "Would you take a look at these?" I mean, it's like, It was definitely one of those things. I was just like, what did I just watch?
I'm sure that
That
a lot of
sounds
people. I'm sure that a lot of people have probably asked you that after seeing you do something. Doesn't matter what it is. Be like, what the hell did I just witness?
Man, I am so glad that we didn't have social media when we were growing up because
Well, actually, if you think about it, we kind of did. Do you remember? You remember, if I'm saying it right, Zanga, like that
yeah,
online journal?
yeah, but
Yeah, that
nobody
was.
like you
MySpace.
didn't have it like readily on phones. You didn't have all the stuff going everywhere, where it was just you didn't really have any of the crap that goes on where it's like you do something stupid and you know immediately it was going up online. Like we did all of our stupid stuff in college before all of this hit.
God, I wish I grew up without social media, honestly. Some of the cringe shit I posted when I was 11 years old still sticks with me today. I will never remove the cringe and corny memories that scar my mind from when
Oh,
I was 11.
Doc, we're mobile again.
Yeah, I see that.
We're in the mobile-based crawler that is the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Now that the Faith is a good friend of mine, and she started listening to the show regularly. And it seems now that every time she's listening, she's in a car or some mobile transport, and we just happen to be, I guess, playing through the stereo system. So um, it's nice to know that we're on the road, even though we're not technically on the road, I guess.
It's Sanctum Cart double dash.
It's podcast dash. We deliver podcasts to your car. So,
Podcast cart 64.
so how did you enjoy being on the panel show last week?
Oh, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I think from like everybody that I spoke to, we all really seemed to enjoy it. I feel like if we had the same group again for another panel show, that would be like a really good show. I think it was. I had a blast. It was really fun. Especially the first 20 minutes when Doug showed us the photo of somebody that just drove their car into a lake.
Dude, people still have a hard time believing like I saw that. Like I have to show them the picture because they're like, big deal, a guy drove his car to the pond, and then they see the picture and they're like, holy crap, you didn't say it was like that.
They underestimate the power of that cursed image. By the way, is there any post like aftermath updates since that happened? May I ask?
No, they still haven't put up any guardrails or anything like that. No reflectors, and
they're probably not going to. I think they're going to wait and see how many people will actually projectile launch themselves into that particular area before they decide to do something about it.
Oh, and I just thought of something else about it too. The fact that it's 2020 and it happened, it's kind of like fitting for this individual that it would happen this year.
Holy dude, Doc's right. 2020's been like awful, right? For the most part, I'd say.
Yeah, 2020 just kind of stuck it in and broke it off.
Yeah, we have two tropical depressions heading for the Gulf, and it's going to come straight up, and they're going to merge on land. They're not going to turn into full-blown hurricanes, but they're going to stay like tropical depressions and then merge once they make landfall.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't know much about like hurricanes and like tropical storms and stuff because we don't get that shit. I mean, it's just plain old Britain. I think the most dangerous weather you can get is probably winds and flooding and stuff. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Americans typically are a rambunctious and hardy bunch. It's because it's survival. I mean, people in most other countries, like if these weather patterns happened in Europe, y'all would find a way to hunker down and protect yourselves. People have friggin' hurricane parties in the U.S.
Oh, wait. Do you remember the guy, who was it, heavy metal guy who would stand out in like the high winds of a hurricane with an American flag, and he would just be like standing out there like blaring like Slayer
I've seen
or
that
Ted
video.
Nugent or something like that?
He's like wearing a Speedo too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, in the video.
He's
Yeah.
just standing there with the flag.
No, I don't think he was wearing a Speedo. I think he was just wearing like a bathing suit. And he's standing out there, no shirt, no shoes, American flag in one hand, his hair blowing in the breeze. And like you just hear, like I said, like Slayer or Ted Nugent or something.
See, I want to see a guy do that, but he's got like a skullet, and it's just like blowing in the wind.
I think you just want to see guys in their bathing suits.
Whoa. We have exposed the dog.
That's a shot fired, dude. That's a Wanderer's job to bust my balls.
I bust
If
your
I was
balls
General
constantly because I bust your balls constantly because you're my friend.
If I was General Grievous right now, I think I'd be saying, another fine thing to add to my collection.
But yeah, that was always one of the coolest videos to me, and I think people have actually just dubbed music more like other songs over that particular video. But yeah, that guy is cool.
Well, one thing I thought, I think it'd be funny to take that and dub Celine Dion's main song from the Titanic movies.
Oh God!
Yeah, My Heart Will Go On, just playing, and the guy's like in slow mo, standing in the storm. But then you could then you could like edit a couch or a car flying and hitting the guy and knocking him off.
No, I wouldn't want to do that to that poor guy.
I think someone like basically remastered or like remade the whole Slayer Man gimmick, and basically they went outside in like 2017 or something and made a Fortnite reference going, "The storm's coming, get to the circle," and they were just running away. So that's like Slayer Man 2 but degenerated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm trying to think. There was something I wanted to say, like either some controversy or something that was like really funny that happened within the Fortnite community, and I just can't remember what it is.
Well, I mean, recently I know that something happened with Apple. I think that's the most recent thing that happened.
Yeah, that was something I had totally forgotten about. Yeah, what happened was Fortnite found a way around Apple's paywall, and part of the terms of service when you're an app developer is you won't circumvent Apple's system, because one of the concerns was it's not so much Apple trying to get a cut of the money, and there's probably some of that there, but the big problem was it was giving people backdoor access that would have opened up the users of that app to security vulnerabilities. So one of the reasons why Apple has things the way they do and they're so strict on things is to protect their users, because a lot of people think Apple is a software company. They're not. They are a hardware company, and their software markets their hardware. Because it's one of the reasons why, if you look at the way how things are structured, they have a very limited amount of hardware that they will allow to interface with each, that will be compatible with each OS release. And however, you can have a Mac that'll last like 10, 20 years or something like that, something ridiculous, and it'd be beyond being upgradable. But they as a result, they don't have to be compatible with everything out there. So they are allowed to have much more streamlined code. They are allowed to have things that are a much tighter package, so that way there are fewer security vulnerabilities. Microsoft, on the other hand, wants to run on as many computers as possible. So as a result, they have to be compatible with everything from the lowest components all the way up to the most expensive components.
Like Wanderer's Armor.
And
Wanderer's pink battle armor has got to be Windows compatible.
Yeah, dude, like, you know how Master Chief has Cortana and Halo? Like, I've just got Windows 97 in the back of my helmet. It helps me browse the web.
Wow, you're a few centuries behind.
Yeah, it's just called Windows 97 for the whole, like, you know how Vaporwave's kind of like associated with like Windows 95 and stuff? Yeah, I just thought I'd take that and then just make it super speedy. So that's how I do it. Okay, Windows 97, look up cute pictures of cats, and then it just displays my little eyepieces. And it's like kind of awesome.
If you switch to Linux, you would have easier time upgrading everything. But then
I'll have to get the scientists to take a look at that then. Because I honestly I don't know much about it, but it is what it is. I guess I got a supercomputer in my head.
Well, you can even make your own distro of Linux. There is I know you're wanting to do video game programming. I know that's the career field you're going into. But one that fascinated me was at one point I was a system administrator, and just for shits and giggles, I was like, okay, I want to build my own Linux distro, and I found this tutorial online called Linux from Scratch, and they basically help you build a Linux distro. And the first one is it looks just like Ubuntu server, and then you start building up from there and adding an IDE and adding desktop features. So, and then they actually help you secure it. So I say all that to get to this point that if you did that, you could probably build your own Armor operating system based on Linux that is specific to you and your needs.
That would be so cool. I could be like the next Elon Musk, but not space. Like just Elon Musk, but not Elon Musk. Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Elon Musk
also Salty Peanut
and creativity, but none of the weird views.
Yeah. Salty Peanut asked me how was the first edition of Sterno Gaming. Honestly, I gotta say, it's really funny. So, yeah. Thank you for streaming on Twitch, Sterno. If you don't know, Sterno's the guy in chat, and I'd say we're pretty close pals. He's a funny guy, and he just streamed on Twitch today, so that's why he was asking me that.
Well, you know, I've watched a little bit of Twitch, but I don't watch. I mean, like I watch Cryvel and Markiplier and stuff like that, but I don't really watch a whole lot of gameplay videos.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I watch much gameplay as I do mainly just people talk about games, which is kind of what I do. Like, my content's basically just talking about Fallout shit whilst also trying to play a character in the Fallout universe. So I guess it's more talking about the stuff that is in games and like about games than it is kind of watching people play games, which is what I used to do when I was younger with like Minecraft and stuff like that. But it kind of just grew out of me. I kind of got bored of seeing people play games, but also kind of got interested in the things that were in the games. So like content, stories, stuff like that. But however, that doesn't mean like I don't like Twitch streams, because I find Twitch streams very entertaining, but it's not necessarily for the gameplay. It's more for the person who's streaming. In my opinion, I feel like the people who bring you the content, like the people who are like streaming on Twitch, for example, or on YouTube, or making videos or something, those people are what it makes it kind of interesting. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily per se the content that they're streaming, although it has a somewhat large part of play in it, if you get what I mean.
Right. Like, one of my buddies over here that I play Magic and D&D with, like I see his kids playing Fortnite all the time, and I was over there yesterday and we were playing, and they were playing it again, and I'm like, the craze of this game and its exact purpose just confuses the shit out of me. The fact that, because I mean, clearly it looks like a kid's game. I mean, it clearly does.
Yeah.
But you got grown ass people that play it like all the time, and I'm thinking, that is Fortnite just becoming like the new, like more, cheesy looking version of World of Warcraft, except it's guns and you can just build shit wherever you want to? Or, is this going to be just another fad that's going to disappear in like another couple of years?
Honestly, that's a good question, because I wouldn't say Fortnite really classifies as the future of gaming, although battle royale games like that have a lot to do with it. I would say it's we learned about this in game design at college. Basically, development trends in gaming are something that have fluctuated over the years. For example, in 2010, towards the end, that's when games like Fortnite and PUBG and Warzone started to peak in popularity, because battle royale was and is what is popular right now, where you get 100 or so people in a large arena to fend off with a team or by themselves to fight each other and to see who comes out on top. It's more kind of testing your skills in a first or third person shooter scenario. However, back in the day, I'd say it was more kind of box games and shooter games. Like, for example, back in the very early 2000s, and I want to say maybe the late 90s as well, with games like Doom and Halo and things like that. First-person shooters were really peaking in popularity towards the early to mid 2000s, which is why games like Halo 3 have been so popular and are still popular today, with like the Master Chief Collection port on Xbox One. And I think right now it's just another development trend. I think in a couple of years' time, battle royales will become a lot less popular than they are right now. And just because battle royales are popular among like young children to somewhat young adults as well, I wouldn't say that means the rest of gaming is somewhat doomed either. For example, you've still got like a very, very large, I'd say it's a multi-million member kind of community built around RPG games like Fallout, like Skyrim, the Owl, stuff like that. So I'd say it's more of a case of just a trend than it is the future of gaming, although it has a lot to do with how games are going to kind of act and whether certain shooter games will have a battle royale in the future to come and stuff. That's the way I see it, at least.
My concern with gaming in the future is when Widow and I were growing up, it was nothing for us to go over to a friend's house and just bring a video game. Be like, hey man, I've got Legend of Zelda. Mind if I come over and play it? Or can you bring blah, blah, blah? And it was nothing for us to go over to a friend's house and just bring the game and, put it in their console and we play. Now it seems like with everything, like all the game systems are going strictly to downloads, and the actual physical copies are almost impossible to buy for certain systems. And they're gonna with the next gen, like when you get PlayStation 5, that may be the last, if they have the actual discs that you can buy, that will be the last one Sony ever puts out that has the disc drive. Everything else is going to be straight download, and that's my prediction. I don't really have any proof of that, but just kind of seeing the way the world is headed.
Well, then why are you speculating? Stop speculating and hating.
But
well, honestly, if I could just step in here, Widows, he's kind of, the doc's kind of right in a sense. I mean, Microsoft released, I think it was just a NISC version of the Xbox One with the components of the Xbox One S, which was like a slimmer version of the Xbox One with bonus compatibility and stuff like that. But he's right in a sense, although discs are going to be a major factor. when it comes to backwards compatibility. Like a lot of games that came out in the mid 2000s, are still rather popular today and don't have an option to buy them online through, like, say, the Microsoft Store on Xbox or the Sony Store. So you have to use backwards compatibility. So I think that's where discs come in quite handy. And I don't think we'll see discs getting removed anytime soon, but it does seem like they're getting lessened and lessened. But I think also another thing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
All right.
Yeah, you did.
He meant to throw me off. Leave it to the death match. I'd say a good point towards discs not going away is the fact that you have collectible editions. Like, for example, Halo 3 came out with a replica of the Master Chief's helmet with a limited edition kind of disc holder in it, as well as a bunch of other really cool shit. Recently, as of like, I think it was April when Doom Eternal came out, the most recent Doom game came with another replica helmet. And it's kind of like a little bit of a trend to have little sort of collectibles from game franchises and things to come with a very, very expensive version of a game. So I think discs and collectible editions will stick around until the near future, at least. Like, honestly, that's just my thoughts on it. But apart from that, yeah.
Well, my computer has no disk drive on it, but I have an external disk drive I can connect to it. So I think, I could see external disk drives becoming an option. And so what would probably happen would be like, well, hey, here's your console. If you want to use an external disk drive, here's ours that's extremely compatible with it. Or you can use a USB connector to it. And I could see that happening. But the thing that really kind of has me a little bit concerned too, though, is I know with a lot of the games out there, you have to download the game and register it from the disc. You can't just really play straight from the disc. And that the advantage is that does have an effect on load time because it's there, it's pulling straight from the hard drive. But the disadvantage I see with that is you can't, again, it's not like, oh, wait, here's the memory card. If you had a PlayStation 1 and a copy of Final Fantasy, you take the game and your memory card, go to a friend's house, put them in, and play the game straight from there. Now it's like, nope, I have to take my whole system, or they have to come over here, or we have to do something. But it just kind of seems to limit the user, and it really only seems to benefit the big companies that make these games. And a lot of the memories that I had with friends growing up playing games, a lot of the memories that Widow has, future generations aren't going to have those memories. And that was kind of a huge experience for a lot of us.
I agree somewhat. I do think there are points for either side of things. Personally, I grew up with I guess when I was like around 10 years old, that's when I started playing Xbox Live with my friends, and we used to play like Minecraft and Call of Duty and stuff back in the day. Recently that died off because I don't really speak to my old school friends anymore. I've kind of just been left here to rot by my friends. But I remember back when I was in those early days of like being 10, 11, I used to go around to my friend's house and going to my friends and stuff. That's how I first learned about games like the classic Battlefront 2 and Republic Commando and all these awesome Star Wars games and things like that. I believe that's how I also got into Call of Duty Zombie as well as Halo, because my friend was like, yo, check out this cool game. It's called Halo Reach. You should play it. And then I begged my mum to get me a Xbox 360 for my birthday, and I finally got it. I was like, holy shit, it's Halo time. I mean, it's always awesome to have kind of really nice memories like that where you can connect with old people and be like, hey, remember that one time where we played that game for the first time and me into that game, and then I got sucked into the universe and then started a YouTube channel, and now I've got like 1K subscribers of it or whatever. I think that could be a really nice story to tell somebody one day.
The joys of being a youngster again, I guess.
Yeah, he's over there just drifting away in memories and going, oh. Yeah, so Widow, did you ever play GoldenEye with friends?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Man, I had one friend that I think this is what kind of ruined me on playing first-person shooter games, because I had one friend who had played that game so much, he could look at your screen and see where you were, and he would automatically.
You could do that on the you could do that really on any death match, really.
Yeah, but that was the first time that had happened to me, and so I could never beat him. And then when I was in college, Halo came out, and I went to go play some friends in Halo, and they'd been playing. They owned the Xbox, and I had never even played an Xbox at this point, and so having the two joysticks, I am just messing it up left and right, and they're laughing at me like, "Oh, you don't know how to play. You're getting killed." And they were just like, every time I would spawn, they would come to me and just slaughter me. So that just like put a bad taste in my mouth regarding Halo, and I was like, you know what, I'm done playing these games. And so, my video game experience has become extremely limited as I've gotten older as a result of that.
So now that we have gotten the game talk out of the way, we've let the I'm not quite sure how we actually got into that. I know that there was this whole thing about Wanderer needing to update the OS in his power armor. Because
I didn't be able to play Pac-Man again.
Pong. Play Pong. So when we decided that we were going to bring Wanderer in, I gave him an assignment. Wanderer is now going to be, basically over the last several weeks, I've really been sending him a lot of music and a lot of stuff he's never really listened to before. And he'll message me on Discord at, random times and just be like, "Oh my God, this is awesome. I'm listening to this," or, what have you. And it's so cool to see a younger person, a whippersnapper, if you will, finding discovering all of this music for the first time. And so when we decided that this was going to go down, of course, we told Wanderer we wanted to have him on as a co-host and everything like that. So I'm just like, I'm going to give you an assignment, and we explained it to him, and he was completely up for it. So Wanderer is going to start doing music reviews every week on stuff that I send him, and this week I sent him Doc's favorite band, Pantera. And I don't want to hear.
Stand by what I said last week, by the way.
Doc, I don't want to hear you bitching. You're completely blasphemous for not liking Pantera, and I will stand by that till I'm dead and gone. So right now we and no, we're not going to be doing Jared Genesis Theater 4000 this week. We will before we continue, I just need to let everyone know that next week we may have to do the show we're going to have to do the show on a different day because of my work schedule. So I'm going to have to get with Doc and Wanderer after the show today, and we'll figure out a time that we can get everyone here. And then of course I'll post it in the Discord for those of you who are members of it. So, but no, we're not going to be doing Jared Genesis Theater 4000 this week, and probably not next week. So we'll wait. We'll go back into the theater in 2 weeks, and that will give Doc plenty of time to figure out a way to hurt Wanderer's virgin eyes like he did last week.
It still burns. It burns in the back of my skull.
Can you still smell him?
Yeah, dude, real bad. Like I had to get. How many times have I changed my bed this week? Because like I've just been lying there in the middle of the night and I'll smell it. I'll just start sweating profusely because I'm so scared that he's like in my room or some shit. I've sprayed air freshener about, I want to say 5 out of 6 days. Because I can smell them through my screen. I've even took it upon myself to throw my Surface Pro outside of my window. Somehow it survived, but it's fine. Yeah, I can still smell them. Short answer, I can still smell them.
I'm sorry if you had to. I'm sorry if you had to disinfect your, your nostrils and everything. So I do apologize for that.
I stood in the shower crying the day after. just
like in
crying
the like that scene from Ace Ventura where he just like climbs in the shower and he's just no.
Yeah.
Like just.
I think
like,
it was a mix, really. It was a mix between seeing Jared Genesis saying, you know what I'm saying, no, I'm saying, no, I'm saying, while jiggling around his body, whilst topless, might I add, and also it was probably another compilation of probably Bonk being mean to me in stream chat, as well as Sterno. And what else? What are the horrors have I seen? My friend playing Halo, she ran me over 17 different times in a vehicle, laughing the entire time. So I stood in the shower crying that day. I'm not afraid to admit. Pink men in power armor suits do cry too, guys.
Well, at least you're man enough to admit that.
I'm not even a man. I'm just like a suit of armor. I have no gender.
So right now we are going to go into. We need to see. This is another reason why I need to get a better system and start learning, OBS and all of this, so we can like start having like segues into different segments on the show. But all in due time. All in due time. So right now we are going to get into Wanderer's music review, and you're actually doing 2 for the first one.
I think so. However, I think I said this at the start. I had to reset my laptop today to update it, and I think I forgot to save the Far Beyond Driven segment that I wrote like on my notes. So I'll try and just do like a little no notes kind of what would you call it? A freestyle, if you will, of just reviewing Far Beyond Driven.
Oh, did you?
I've got all my Cowboys from Hell.
Do what?
I've got all my Cowboys from Hell notes. It's just when I restarted my laptop today, but.
Well, you got to hit that save button, man. That's part of it.
I missed it like a dummy. I've committed a mistake.
You've committed heresy against the show. How dare you?
The Anthony Fantano of the Sanctum Sanctorum podcast has destroyed this segment on his first day. His first day.
Doc, you're gonna have to give you're gonna have to give him an extra hit with the cowboy hat.
Oh no. Not cowboy hatula manslaughter. No, please no.
All right, so
anything but that.
Right. All right. So we'll do your freestyle one first. So Far Beyond Driven.
Okay, right. So hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and today we are reviewing the Pantera record Far Beyond Driven. I'm currently opening my Spotify right now so I can get the track list up so I don't make any mistakes while talking about these tracks, because I may or may not have done that last time on the panel show, but there we go. Found the album. You know what it is. So Strength Beyond Strength. I feel like it was a very kind of powerful opening to the album in a sense. It was very kind of very hard hitting, and listening to this for the first time, it reminded me of somewhat of little sections, an Avenged Sevenfold song that I listened to a while ago, which was on a Call of Duty Black Ops map, which was, what was it called again? Call of the Dead or something. And Avenged Sevenfold did a song for that. And I gotta say, kind of remind me.
Oh, you there?
Hello?
Oh, he cut out.
Really
I
powerful
think we lost
opening.
Wanderer. Man down. Man
Oh
down.
shit! Oh shit! Oh, well, I must have been having some internet issues. I apologize.
Oh, no,
My
you're
apologies.
fine. You're fine.
I'm being really happy.
I think we lost him again.
No, sorry about that. My brother just came in asking if the Wi-Fi is working. I think we had a little bit of an interruption there, but either way, strength beyond strength. To sum it up, really kind of powerful opening to Far Beyond Driven. Becoming, I feel like the transition between Strength Beyond Strength and Becoming was like, it was very smooth. They both sounded very similar, yet provided different feelings, different kind of notes, different styles, really. So I really like Strength Beyond Strength and Becoming together. I think that was a really good placement in the album. 5 Minutes Alone, however, when it comes to that track, I gotta say that's probably my favorite one out of those three. Now, I said this last week, and I think there was just something about the guitar in that song, as well as the drums. I really liked that about the song. I remember that being one of my highlights. I got out I'm Broken, and even after 5 Minutes Alone, I was blown away by I'm Broken. I thought it was yet again another really good. It was another really good song. Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills. I was disturbed by this one. the lyrics were somewhat I don't know how to explain them. They were kind of graphic, kind of appropriate, and it unsettled me. Like, I remember I was sitting there. I think I was writing my script for my next Fallout video, and then it came on, and I was like, "What am I listening to? This guy smashed my girlfriend last night. What?" Like,
you didn't know that. You didn't know that it was actually your girlfriend, man. How about that shit?
Oh man, holy shit!
No.
Hardline's Sunken Cheeks. I think that was the song that came on last because I had it on shuffle. Then I realized, oh, I got this on shuffle. Let me just go back to I'm Broken and listen to them all again so I know which order it's in. Hardline's Sunken Cheeks. Thankfully, it's a very strong comeback from Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills. I don't know what the hell that little interlude was in between, but it was kind of weird. I didn't really like that bit. But Hardline's Sunken Cheeks, good song. Slaughtered. Feel like these two are the same as like Strength Beyond Strength and Becoming. They have a really good kind of interlude, or I guess kind of like a mix.
Slaughtered, just that guitar riff alone, like when it's coming in, and then Vinnie Paul kicks in on those drums, man, that should just get you like pumped. Like you want to go run around in a circle somewhere.
The guitar riff was really, really cool on that song. I gotta say, 25 Years. I remember really, really liking that song. I think 25 Years was probably one of my favorites as well. So far, I'd say I'm Broken, 5 Minutes Alone, and 25 Years are probably my top songs, but Slaughtered had a really good guitar riff. Shedding Skin. I found Shedding Skin. I think it was fine. I remember I wasn't too fussed about it because I just heard 25 Years. I was like, yo, this song's awesome. So I was kind of caught up in like, whoa, 25 Years, really good song. And not really thinking about Shedding My Skin. However, Using My Third Arm, which I really like there was a very heavy kind of opening to this one. I really like the guitar in the beginning. That was one of the Use My Third Arm. Throes of I can't speak. Throes of Rejection was an awesome song. I really, really like this one. So that's another top one of mine. Throes of Rejection. I really, really like that song. And Honestly, I'd say from track 1 to track 11. This is a 12-track album, if I'm not mistaken. Track 1 to 11, they all sound somewhat the same. They follow like a very similar structure in the way they are made. They all have very, very heavy guitar, a very exciting drum kind of pattern. The lyricism and the vocals are very kind of angry, very pumped up, energy filled. Planet Caravan, which is the 12th song, is very kind of chilled out compared to them, especially in the beginning, and it gives off somewhat of a like a sad vibe, I guess you could say. It's like,
You're
yo, the album's
referring
over now.
you're referring to Planet Caravan, which incidentally, Planet Caravan is that song is actually was originally written by Black Sabbath, and they were just covering it for the album.
Holy shit, really? I didn't know that, but Planet Caravan's an awesome song. I really like the difference between from going from track 11 to track 12. It's like, am I still on the same album? But I really like Planet Caravan. I think I don't know if that's my favorite song. Because it's so different from the rest of the album. I don't want to say it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there. So, Far Beyond Driven. I gotta say it's a really, really awesome album. There's something about albums that are released in 1994 that's just so awesome about the albums released in that time zone. But this one, from track 1 to 12, I thoroughly enjoyed most of these, apart from Good Friends and A Bottle of Pills, which is some sort of really, really weird interlude. So Far Beyond Driven, awesome album. That is my review on Far Beyond.
I give it all right on a scale of 1 to 10. What would you give it?
Scale of 1 to 10. Well, I don't listen to this like kind of genre of music enough to compare it to other albums, but honestly, from what I've heard, I'd say maybe I'll drop it down to an 8, because Good Friends and A Bottle of Pills just puts me off so much.
Now,
it has a really good flow and stuff.
I mean,
8
now
out of
you
10
got
for me.
and like you were talking about, like in 5 Minutes Alone and I'm Broken. I mean, now you gotta love like the groove that they've got.
Yeah, they have a really kind of awesome feel to them that I guess it stands out from the rest of the album and some of the songs in there with the groove.
Before we move on to the next one, I gotta ask, what do you think about Mr. Dimebag Darrell on that guitar? Like his solo,
is that who's on the guitar?
and everything.
Amazing. Really, really, really good. I really enjoy the guitar in like literally every single song out of Far Beyond Driven. One of my like most favorite things about every single one of those songs has been the guitar, and maybe even the drums a little bit more, but the guitar it's really amazing. So I got to give credit to the people behind Terror. I know they've kind of split up. You told me that they split up. I think it was in 2001. But the people behind this band, the people who were playing in it, they must have been really, really good at what they do, because everything I heard on Far Beyond Driven, there was not a single section that I didn't think lacked somewhat of a skill, apart from maybe, you know what I'm going to say, Good Friends and A Bottle of Pills. It sounds like a 12 to 13-year-old wrote that song.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed Far Beyond Driven. Now, we're going to take a step back into 1990 when their very first when their debut album came out called Cowboys from Hell. So, let's hear your analysis of Cowboys from Hell.
All right, so thankfully for this one, I've got notes, so I don't need to really use my Spotify page to look at which ones I did like and if I can remember them or whatever. So I took notes. I gotta say, right off the bat, I enjoy this one more than I did Far Beyond Driven, and I don't know why, but I think it's because some of the songs in here are more attuned to my own personal tastes, and I think that's why I enjoyed Cowboys from Hell more than I did Far Beyond Driven. The opening title song, which is obviously called Cowboys from Hell because it wouldn't be a title song if it wasn't, is probably one of my favorite songs out of the entirety of the album. I don't know what it was about it that I really, really liked. I think it was probably the opening. The drums were really awesome, and once again the guitar as well. It's basically the same deal, and I feel like Cowboys from Hell is more kind of setting the boundary of what you should expect to come in the future from Pantera, because it's very similar to that of what you expect from like Fall. So I feel like this one's more establishing that kind of style than it is kind of, yo, we are Pantera, and it's also kind of laying down that this is the way we do it, and something that I've dubbed in my notes here, that Pantera energy that it has. So the second song was Primal Concrete Sledge, and it seems more reminiscent of their future songs in a way. And I heard something very familiar in this song after listening to this in the entirety of Far Beyond Driven. That's what I've got down for Primal Concrete Sledge. Psycho Holiday is exactly the same, and they both flow very well next to each other in the album, so it makes sense that they were placed that way whilst the album was made. And honestly, something really cool happened today, because I don't know if you saw it, but I sent you a video on Discord with us of me skating in my bedroom, and then I hit my ankle off the edge of the... And I sent that to a friend, and they were like, wait, is that Pantera I hear? I was like, yeah. Are you a fan of them? And he said, yeah, my favorite song is Heresy. And I said to him exactly what I've wrote here. I said I'm not too much of a fan of the opening to the song, but after a certain amount of time, especially when the first verse like kicks in, it starts to like shine as a very, very good song in my opinion. Cemetery Gates is a bizarre song from what I've heard of Pantera. Like the note pattern makes the song somewhat sad in its opening, and honestly I like it. I really, really like it. The actual instrumental of the song reminds me loosely of Typo and the vocals of like Avenged Sevenfold, and I felt like some sort of weird kind of connection there. And then the minute 30 mark comes around, and a little fragment of what you'd expect from Pantera rocks up, before returning to like the same formula from the beginning, so that kind of sad note pattern, with added drums and more loud and passionate vocals, which honestly I gotta say Cemetery Gates is probably my favorite one out of this album. Damnation, the guitar and drums are like on the song, and I feel like it would be very fun to listen to this at like live at a concert or something, seeing them live. And I'm pretty sure you have. Yeah, Domination. Sorry, did I say Damnation? I literally can't speak. I finished my drink some time ago, so after I've done this, I'll let you and the dog talk, and I'll just go grab myself another glass of water or something. So Shattered is another song that I think it has that same kind of iconic Pantera energy that I spoke about in the beginning. Clash with Reality is a great song, and is probably one of my favorites out of Cowboys from Hell. And I could see myself like skating or biking at incredible speeds to this brilliant song. So Clash with Reality is probably one of my favorite ones. Medicine Man, I didn't know what to think of this, because it's kind of a mixed bag. I felt like the weird voice and like the whispering was rather unsettling, or like somewhat kind of I'm not sure if I like this, you know. And then when the chorus comes around, I felt like the vocals were very kind of banshee like, and there was kind of like this very high pitched screaming in the background somewhat. So Medicine Man, probably my least favorites from Cowboys from Hell, and it reminds me of a mix between Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold and Pareidolia by Elena Siegman. Then Message in Blood is another favorite song of mine, and it sounds really, really good. It has the same kind of Pantera feel, and I've put here again, like the entirety of this album was kind of establishing the band and kind of establishing their style that they wanted to give, you know. And The Sleep has somewhat of a similar effect to Cemetery Gates. It's kind of calmer and quieter in the beginning before taking a more kind of metal face. I guess that's what I've written down even. Let's see. That's where my notes stop. No, there's another track or two. So let me just find those. I hope I'm being a good Anthony Fantano here.
You're doing a great job. The like, but one thing, like when you check out some more of their records, one thing you're definitely going to notice is that each record is heavier than the last record.
Mm.
Like if you notice,
I definitely noticed that. I definitely noticed that between Cowboys from Hell and Far Beyond Driven. Far Beyond Driven felt very kind of more heavy and more kind of high energy compared to Cowboys from Hell, which is where I think I prefer Cowboys from Hell to Far Beyond Driven. I think in that energy kind of, you know.
Well, while you're finishing that up, I'm actually going to pull up Discord, and I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you your homework assignments for next week. So,
all right. The Art of Shredding, that was the last one.
Yeah.
So the Art of Shredding, another kind of mishap on my half. Like I listen to my playlist on shuffle, just so like I have kind of a mixed bag of every single song that I listen to, because I've got basically every single song on my holotape. So the Art of Shredding, I had that on. I think that was the one that came on after I finished Psycho Holiday, but then I went back and listened to them all in order. Art of Shredding, I feel like I feel the same way about that I do Primal Concrete Sledge, Psycho Holiday, and what's the other ones? Domination as well. I feel like they've kind of got the same feel, and also at the beginning, it has that similar feeling. Although it's not exactly the same, it has somewhat of a feel like what was that track called again? The last one, which you said was written by Black Sabbath.
Planet Caravan.
Planet Caravan. Yeah, that was the one. It has like the same effect. Like it makes you realize, like, oh no, this is kind of like the end of the album. I don't really want it to end. You know what I mean? And I feel like the Art of Shredding at the very beginning had that same effect, and that's something I really like. And if that's the pattern in Pantera albums, then honestly, I think I'm gonna become a fan. So, out of 10, Cowboys from Hell probably gets a 9. Reason being, there's no good friends and a bottle of pills.
You're just like so hung up on that song. It's just like I don't like it.
it's mentally traumatized me. And yeah, I really enjoyed the opening track and Cemetery Gates, Clash with Reality. I feel like I've got more songs that I can name out of Cowboys from Hell that I think, wow, like this kind of really aligns with my own tastes. That I could say I really, really like about this, you know? So Cowboys from Hell is a 9 from me. Anyway, guys, this has been Anthony Fantano. Like if you enjoyed.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed both records well, except for the one song, because I'm sure that you'll probably reference that multiple times. At any other given moment, it's just like, you know, it's like, hey man, that sounds like good friends and a bottle of pills. So I've sent you your homework for next week if you want to go ahead and announce that.
All right, let me see. So next week I'll be reviewing Vulgar Display of Power album by Pantera,
now it's the second one. It's the album after Cowboys from Hell.
So it's in between Far Beyond Driven and Cowboys from Hell, basically.
Right. The order of their albums is Cowboys from Hell, Vulgar Display of Power, Far Beyond Driven, The Great Southern Trendkill, 101 Proof Live, and then Reinventing the Steel. And Reinventing the Steel was their very last record.
All right. So then we've also got Pork Soda, which I think is by Grungeness. That's the name of the channel?
No, the band is called Primus.
All right, so the band's called Primus, but it's on a YouTube channel called Grungeness. So I'm guessing that's some sort of kind of re-upload channel which uploads, you know, different albums and stuff. So Pork Soda, and Vulgar Display of Power. They're the ones I'm going to be reviewing next week, everybody.
And I think I guess Doc has disappeared. Either that or he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing.
He's plotting my demise.
He's probably on the phone, ordering an escort or something for later. So yeah, Vulgar Display of Power and Primus. Now, I think Primus is really gonna kind of throw you off a little bit because it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
but I think that I think that you'll probably enjoy it.
yeah. I might. I will definitely let everybody know when I've listened to them and stuff.
I'm still really surprised that your girlfriend didn't like Typo Negative. That just kind of blows my mind.
I think she was kind of scared. I think she said she found the vocals scary and like the very kind of echoey, kind of wavy riffs of the guitar, I guess you could say. She didn't really like the way it sounded on Haunted, and I think it really scared her a little bit. So she's like, "Nope, we're not listening to that every time we listen to music," which honestly isn't very often. We're mainly just kind of a watch movie, watch TV, play video games type of couple. But we do listen to music from time to time. Like we have our own little cooperative playlist, and most of that is about One Direction and other stuff that she likes, and Thundercat and like Brockhampton.
Well, I still say that it's good, man. Oh, did you did you tell when we had you on the show you were talking about taking her, seeing if she would color her hair again for you? Did she ever do that?
I don't think she has, and I think I forgot to bring it up to her. But I think she's definitely a fan of having somewhat pink hair in the future, because she had it for a while. It was like a washout dye. It was a really shit dye, so she never really did.
Hey, well, you've got the money. Go and tell her if she'll do it, you'll pay for it, man.
Oh, also, by the way, Scud in chat, also known as Bonk, he's a good friend of mine. He like introduced me to a band called Remo Drive, and they are very good. So I might even fit in next week a review of their album that I've listened to called Greatest Hits. So I'll fit that in for Bonk.
Remo Drive.
Yeah. Let me type their name in chat, and I'll. There you go. But it's spelled like that. They're an awesome band.
Okay, I'm saving them in my YouTube watch later list right now.
Nice.
I'm curious to hear this. The album is literally
he says,
called
"Hell yeah, baby." So.
Oh, so they have a greatest hits album?
Yeah, that was their debut one. I think they called it Greatest Hits. I'm not sure why. I'll probably have to ask Bonk about that.
Okay, well, I've got that one saved, and I see they've got one called Wait for the Sun. I'll save it too.
I think I've only listened to a handful of Remo Drive albums. I've listened to Portrait of an Ugly Man and Greatest Hits, and they're the only two that I've listened to because I only recently found them, so I'll need to give some other ones a listen to sometime.
All right. Well, I've got three of their records saved into my watch later. So while I'm at home today, hanging out with my cats like I do, I'm that crazy cat dude. Actually, like one of them has literally just been laying over here next to the table while I've been doing the show. Like before we let you in, I'm not sure if you could hear her, but she even chimed in a few times. So,
yeah, I heard. Bless. I love cats. I've got such a funny video of this cat called, like, I think it's Professor Jiggly or something, has broken out of the cat den, and it's like oh my god, I gotta send you this on Discord. It's so funny.
Professor Jiggly.
I want to name my cat that.
Well, it's already taken. You'd have to come up with like
Professor Jiggly the second. There we go.
No, you'd have to come up with something like if it was like a girl cat, you could call it like Baroness Jelly or something, or his lordship bouncy ball, or something to that effect.
Yeah, it's such a scary video. Like it's not even like a video. It's just kind of like an image with sound, if you know what I mean. It's got like this. I think it's an SCP alarm in the background. It's just like a picture of Professor Jiggly on the floor, and then with a sign, which is on the inside, might I say, saying Professor Jiggly has breached the cat den or something. It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, Steno wants me to send it to him.
Yeah. I think that's more of like a hazmat alarm, or
it's like definitely not a good sound.
Yeah, it's like a radiation alarm or something like that.
Yeah, we gotta stock that video as well.
So have you heard anything about when you get to go back to work?
No, but speaking of which, I had a message today from one of my colleagues who does the same work as me, but also like works in the kitchen and stuff. I had a message from her basically asking if I could fill in for a shift, which I couldn't because there's only three barbacks working at the minute, and sadly I'm not one of them. But I would like to get back to work soon. But I honestly haven't heard anything since they said, yo, we're going to take some of you back in just to get business booming back again, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll just keep on paying you for doing nothing. I haven't heard anything since then. I want to say it's not looking good, but at the same time, I'm hopeful. So,
has the restaurant reopened?
Yeah, I think they've got limited staff in just to keep numbers down, just in case there is a COVID-19 outbreak, as well as I think they've also enforced social distancing parameters around the restaurant as well, just to make sure, and they're also cleaning stuff extra excessively just to make sure nothing bad happens or bad comes to us, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Honestly, if it were me, if I lived as close to where I work as you do, I would, just throw a mask on and just go walk down there and just be like, "Hey, man, just checking in. When do I get to come back and work?"
Oh, I'm way too awkward to do that, so I'm like. Drive past there on my bike sometimes. Oh, I don't work then. I don't work.
No. What you should do, you could go in there and be socially awkward. Just kind of, look at the ground and kick it a little bit. So be like, I want to come back to work. Why don't you guys like me anymore?
Yo, am I getting fired, or can I come actually do something instead of you paying me for doing nothing? Yo, thanks for the $150 donation to my stream. Oh my god, it's my boss. Thank you so much, boss, for the $150 donation.
Like, you're basically just making it easier for me to do YouTube,
Like, literally, I honestly haven't had enough free time when I was at college and working to finish a YouTube video that I'd been working on for, I want to say I've been working on it since like November of the previous year. I didn't get it done until June. That is bad. But I am in full production of my next video, and I haven't had this much free time in a while. It's looking to be a between 10 and 15-minute video. I'm really happy to get back to work on videos because I've missed it so much. It's such a good feeling when you feel like you're doing something good like that. Like, I love entertaining people with Fallout and stuff. So
I feel bad. I really do for the people who are still not able to work now. Where and Doc, I messaged Doc, and he's got a very important phone call. So
all right.
very very serious phone call. So hopefully he'll pop back in before we have to sign off. But we've still got some time.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for the people that are not getting to work right now. I know, quite a few people who are, you know, still waiting to go back to work, or, they've applied for everything and they're still waiting for it, um, and, I feel lucky that, I got to keep working during all this. Cause I mean, honestly, if, if I were like if I were in a position like some of these people where I, had to sit at home and, had to file for unemployment and still hadn't got it, I would, you know, I'd probably be out in the street by now.
Yeah.
Because so, I mean, my heart definitely goes out to everyone not being able to work, or who is just now being able to go back to work, and now they're gonna have to play pretty much play proverbial catch up, as it were. Um, but you know, it's I mean it is. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, it's not. I mean, people have got families they got to take care of. They got, you know,
Yeah.
got to look after themselves and everything else. It's like I was saying earlier. Like when we first came on the air. Um, I'm having to learn to, and I'm getting better, doing a budget with my money and everything. But you know, I shop for food like I'm back in college, because basically, I'm living off of, and of course, like when I go visit my mom, she sends me back with like a ton of, home cooking, because there's nothing, there's nothing quite like, mama cooking, as we call it down here in the South.
Yeah.
Let's see, talk because work, so I'm behind. But if I could suggest Remo's albums, go with Greatest Hits, Natural Everyday, Degradation, and The Portrait of an Ugly Man. Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind, Scott. Thank you. I do have Greatest Hits saved to my watch later list, so I'm definitely gonna be checking that one out. Um, but yeah, it's basically like peanut butter and ramen noodles and mac and cheese and soup and
Yeah.
um, and all of that, which I mean is fine. I mean, because shit, I did it for 3 years when I was in college, so I mean it ain't no thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Nothing wrong with a bit of mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese.
oh, I mean, I'm a pretty hefty dude, so I've eaten my fair share of it in my time on this planet. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've gotten, and see, that's one thing that I don't get, and I'm gonna bring up a point. I'm gonna bring up a little interesting um, uh, situation that has occurred over the last couple of weeks. Um, Now, you remember when I told you that I was moving into this apartment?
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
so when you move from one apartment to another, now the one I was in, the utilities were not included, and where I live now, they are included. But the the person that I was splitting the other place with, like they had the upstairs, I had the downstairs. Um, Now they moved out before I did.
Mm.
And of course, you're going to get those last bills, right? You're going to get that
Yeah,
last
yeah.
power bill, that last water bill, what have you. And I told them very specifically, because I knew that, because at that point I hadn't got my stimulus check yet, and I still hadn't got my tax return and everything. But even so, once I got that money, I was still going to have to budget, because
Yeah.
my rent was going from $300 to $750. So I mean, I'm
Wow.
looking at a $450 jump.
Mm.
So I told this person, I said, okay, I will get you what I can. I will get you as much as I can, when I can, as fast as I can.
Yeah.
And that was okay. That was okay. Now, take into advisement that the other person makes more money than me, clearly.
Yeah.
So here over the last couple of weeks, I've been getting messages, do you have that money? Do you have that money? Do you have that money? And it's like a consistent back and forth. And it just reiterating what I've already said, but yet you make more money than me, but you're trying to play broken peasant.
Yeah,
So
it's funny with some people. Like they'll have all the money in the world. Like for example, there is a Twitch streamer who used to work for a group called the Young Turks, called Hassan Piker, and he makes a lot of money from Twitch and streaming and things like that. He has two separate channels, I'm pretty sure. And he was showing off how much money he makes, and then he proceeds to say, "Oh yeah, I can't afford to pay editors," when he obviously can, because he's flexed how much money he makes, and I'm pretty sure you could like he can still pay for stuff that he needs whilst also giving editors a cut of the pay, every month, because he's getting subscriptions, he's getting donations and bits of Twitch, and yet he's not paying editors, and I think that's just disgusting. I'd totally be paying editors, no matter like the situation. Like if I was completely inept to pay them, like if I couldn't, then obviously they would have to understand that I can't pay you, and I've got other things to focus on right now, and I need to get myself back on track before I start thanking people for things they're doing for me, and things like that. I can understand that if you're in a tricky situation and you can't afford it, but this guy can, and I feel like that's really, really scummy,
Oh, and I agree. But what I'm like, the other point of it is the fact that, you're asking me for this money, but yet you make more than me, and the rent where this person, I know how much the rent is where they moved to, because it was the place that that we were living before the previous location.
Yeah.
And I know the utilities are included in that, and the only thing other than the rent would be the internet, and then whatever you need for everything else. But yeah, if you clearly make more money than someone or someone else, and that other person who makes less than you do is trying to get themselves in a position to where they can, because one of the responses that I got was, because when I was trying to explain the whole budget situation, they're like, well, you should be working, the money you owe me into your budget, and I'm sure that you have money for like, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay, first, because I mean, this is basically what it's boiled down to. Like, I don't go out and just blow my money on whatever.
Yeah.
Especially now. Like, the last thing that I think that I bought was like a couple of used movies, and the total for the two of them, I think, was like $6, if that.
Yeah.
But I'm not blowing my money on just anything. Like, I literally sit on a majority of my, like, pretty much all of my money, like, all the time. I went to the store yesterday. I'll put gas in my car to drive back to my hometown to go and spend time with my mom, once every couple of weeks. Because my mom, since the whole virus thing started, my mom stays in a lot. I talk to her at least 4 to 5 times a week, just to check on her, and then I go back every 2 weeks. And I go back every 2 weeks because I know that once I've been there, she's going to want to stay inside and kind of quarantine just a little bit. And that's fine because, like, I'll go back, I'll see her, I'll go and see, my brother Danny I've told you about, maybe some other friends and stuff. And then I come back and I'm home and I mean, God, I really don't do much of anything. And to be accused of, not budgeting my money to, perpetuate someone else's agenda or need is a load of shit. It's a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
I can understand. I mean, I can understand owing somebody money. I've owed people money. People have owed me money. But, I'm not going to push the subject unless me personally, I'm not going to push the subject unless I absolutely need it. And it's, something that there's something I need to take care of, or, I mean, I'm not going to do that. But if you're just pushing and pushing and pushing this, but just so you can get what's yours out of someone, then you're going to, that's just being, that's just kind of being an asshole, in my opinion.
In times like these, especially, you've got to look out for other people. You've got to realize that people are going through very, very hard times right now with jobs, with monetary gain, with shit like that. There is in England, especially, we have been very hard hit by this economically. A lot of people are out of jobs right now, and to say, well, you owe me money and stuff like that in the middle of a pandemic when you've just moved apartments, I think that is awful. And I feel like they should have wait and stop hassling you about it until things clear up a little bit, and until you say, okay, well, here's this money back. I feel like when it comes to owing people money and stuff, remind people every maybe a month or so, like, just, yo, how's it going? I know we worked out like kind of like this deal thing. I was wondering, are you going to pay me back? And if so, when? And then from there, they can kind of set a date to kind of work this out and stuff. And
and see, the other thing was, like, I told them, I'm like, because right now what I'm really trying to do is just get all the money together at once, and not have to worry about, $20 here, $20 there, whatever. Because if I do that, then it's just going to be this continual cycle, and it's just going to be, all the time. It's just like, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? I'm just trying to get all the money together at one time. But, you make you do make an excellent point. I mean, with the move and everything else, and it's like I've said before, these two little angels that I have that live with me, my cats come first, and I will do without to make sure that they get what they need. And that's just the way that I am. But but the other thing is, like, if you're going to, be bothering somebody for money that they owe you, and then you're going to turn around and you're going to, go on and on about, or have pictures up on social media about a bungalow, like an Airbnb or something that you're staying in for a few days, then don't expect me to get your money to you in a timely manner, because you clearly have money to be able to go and do that shit. Don't bother me for money that I owe you. So,
definitely.
you best, unfuck yourself, because that's just not going to happen.
Shit, I forgot the point I was gonna make. I had a somewhat fairly reasonable point to think. The guy seems like he doesn't need the money. He seems like a bit of a dick who's just kind of getting at you.
No. It's not a guy.
Oh, femoid then? Is it a female?
Yes.
Isn't it a gal? Okay, right. So this woman is kind of hassling you about the money, where she can afford to do all that bullshit while you're over here struggling. And honestly, when you have pets, I understand that when you have pets, be almost as expensive as you, especially when it comes to, I'm pretty sure when it comes to like vet prices and stuff, if they're sick, it can be very, very, very pricey. When I used to have my rabbit before she died, she would cost upwards of £500 at the vet, and that is no lie. That is a lot of money. Sadly, we couldn't afford.
Speaking of that, I have to take them both to the vet next month for to get their shots updated. So, and I'm not going to be going. I'm not going to be going to her and being like, "Well, you owe me for half the fucking vet bill." No, they're my responsibility. So, bless you. So don't be trying to bother me for money when I have an expense coming up to take care of the cats, and you're gonna post stuff on social media about you're relaxing at a bungalow and all this other kind of stuff. Kiss my fucking Irish ass.
I've remembered that point I was going to make. Also, I think it's smart of you to pay it in full, because if you're just paying it drips and drabs, they might deceive you and you might lose track, and you might be paying them more, or maybe even less in a rare case, than what you actually owe them. And that can be a pain in the ass sometimes. That can be a very, very big pain in the ass, because it's not only ripping you of money, but it's also a lot to keep track of and things like that when you've got other things to worry about than just, oh, how much money have I gave this person this month? I feel like you've done a really good job at making sure you get this all in one full payment. I think that's a good choice.
I mean, that was going to be the plan to begin with, and see, the funny thing about it is, I made the point. It's just like, okay, I will get you as much as I can, when I can, and as fast as I can, and they accepted that. But then all of a sudden, it just turned into this whole thing about, I need, and I'm just, like, fuck off, just straight up. Looks like Doc's back with us.
Yep.
Everything okay, my
hello,
brother?
Doc.
Yeah. Things are okay. I can. I'll tell you two after this what all happened.
Well, I explained that you had a do what?
He's still plotting my demise.
Yeah, I think he was on a phone conversation with a intergalactic assassin for you. So
fuck.
Yeah.
Death time. Large
he's
time.
He's sending Boba Fett after you.
So speaking of,
no.
Well, actually, if you had to pick one Mandalorian that would not be the best assassin, Boba Fett is like right there at the top of the list. The other Mandalorians are so much better at their job.
But
yeah, I gotta say, it's either Jango Fett or Din Djarin for me. Out of like the known Mandalorian bounty hunters there are,
well,
it'd be between Jango.
Well, and the Mandalorian and the TV show The Mandalorian, if he wanted to be an assassin, he would be a really good one. Yeah.
Or if it was like a non Mandalorian bounty hunter from Star Wars, Cad Bane. Cad Bane is an awesome bounty hunter.
Yeah, Cad Bane's my favorite non-Mandalorian bounty hunter in the series.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
But no, I brought up all of that just to because it's just something that's just been eating at me for like the last few weeks, and I talked to my when I talk to my mother, I bring it up to her and I talk to her about it, but I'm just like, you know what, I have a public forum, I have a platform where I can say what I need to say and get it off my chest and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm just like, I mean, it's just seriously, I've honestly never had to deal with stupid bullshit like that before,
Yeah,
except within like the
I
last
mean,
6 years.
I understand having like a platform to kind of vent your feelings on. Like I do the same with streaming on Twitch. I remember, if Dumpkey's still in chat, the first stream that Dumpkey came to was one where I was ranting about a recent ex-girlfriend that basically recently started contacting my current girlfriend and was like, "Oh, I hope he's not mad at me." When she did a lot of like messed up things that really screwed with the way that my relationships are moving forward and the way that I feel mentally in a relationship. She messed a lot of that stuff up for me. And she has, we broke up 2 years ago, and she has the goal to come to my current girlfriend and ask a bunch of questions and act like they're friends and stuff. And I hate her guts, and it was really awkward.
Yeah, I mean, it's oh god. Um, I could definitely get further into the uh, debacle that was the previous situation, which is how I'll
Yeah,
refer to it. But number one, there's a lot of details in there that I really just can't, put out here. And
yeah,
number two, um, I would need at least probably another 2 hours, um, because it's just that foobar. I'll just put it that way.
yeah,
It's it's because a lot of it, I mean, a lot of it is just having inadequacies and inability to do things and all of that. Um, it's basically it's projecting on the other person's part. Um, being them turning me into an emotional punching bag and all of this other kind of shit. And you know what?
yeah,
You just fuck it. Just you can't do people that way. Basically being a person that says, "Oh, I hate drama, and I hate when other people bring their drama around me because I don't want to have anything to do with it." But
yeah,
when it's your drama, oh, they better be around. Oh, those other people better be around to, for you to vent to, and for you to pull them into your drama. But the hell with what's going on with them. It's kind of, just being that kind of person.
yeah.
Yeah, like just fuck that shit. But
I've got like one funny story that came out of that relationship, and it was the fact that um one time I think it was like at the when Fortnite was starting to get popular, I was playing it with my buddy Kyle, and me and Kyle have been friends for years now. I think we became best friends in like third grade, I guess is what you Americans would call it,
yeah,
in year three. And there hasn't been a day that we don't talk really. We're really close pals. Even what is it, 8 years later or something? We've been really good buddies since the age of 10. And I was playing Fortnite with him, and I my girlfriend saying, "Hey, I'm just playing this game with my friends, just kind of chilling with them. Sorry if I don't reply or if it's like slow replies." And they were like, "Oh, you care about the game and your friends and stuff more than me," which is kind of ironic because
oh,
right, this is the funny part, because the month before we had made plans to go out on Halloween, just me and her, right? And she ditched me the day before to go with her friends. That is irony at the highest degree. That is funny. Oh man.
Oh God, I had a similar experience about about 10 years ago. Um, I was actually dating dating a girl who lives. Actually, she still lives in the town where I live now, and it ended badly, but we actually into each other like not long after I moved here to be with the previous situation, and we buried the hatchet. We don't see eye to eye politically, but when we see each other, we talk to each other. We're civil and everything like that.
Oh hell
But
yeah.
when she and I were together, I came over here to spend the weekend with her, and I got here and got to her place and sat my stuff down and changed my clothes and into some into like shorts and everything, because we were just going to be spending the weekend at her place. And she was in the kitchen making some food, and my phone rings, and I answer it, and it's one of my one of my best friends from like way back in the day. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm getting married." And I'm just like, well, because I had no idea, that he was about to ask his girlfriend to marry him. He's like, "Man, I'm getting married." It was like, "Well, hell yeah, dude." And he's like, "I want you to be one of my groomsmen." Like, absolutely, I'll be there, and I said, and he said it was either me or him that said something about bachelor party. And he was like, "Well, yeah, man." He's just, going to be me and the groomsmen and, probably a couple other guys from, back in the day. And just like, "Well, what are we going to do?" And he's like, "Well, we'll probably end up in Memphis, over on Bill Street, drinking, and probably end up at a strip club at some time." And I'm like, "Brother, I'm there. Let's do it." So anyway, she comes out of the kitchen. And she was like, "Oh, who was that?" And I was, explaining everything to her. I'm like, "My buddy's getting married. He's asked me to be one of his groomsmen." Of course, I'm like, "You're my girlfriend. I would love for you to be my date for the wedding." And she agreed. And she had said, I can't remember if I had said it or if she did, about, she's like, "Well, is there going to be a bachelor party?" And I said, "Yeah, probably." We were actually just talking about that. And she's like, "Oh, well, what are y'all going to do?" And I'm just like, "Oh, go drinking, go out, get hammered, probably end up at a strip club or something like that." And she got pissed. As soon as I said the word strip club, she got mad. She told me, and this is an exact quote. She said, "If you go to a strip club, I will cut you off for 6 months."
Shit.
Yes.
That's a long time.
How rough were those 6 months?
No. Here's the thing. Fast forward about 2 or 3 months later, and there were some scheduling conflicts and everything. And so the bachelor party wasn't going to be able to happen when we all thought it was. And so it just kind of got put on the back burner. Well,
yeah,
the weekend or the Saturday that it was supposed to happen, we were having a big meeting down at my Masonic Lodge. And so, my dad called me, make sure I was going to be there. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there," and all this. So I, drove down there, and we were just about to get started. And my phone vibrates in my shirt pocket. And I look, and it's my girlfriend, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm just like, "Oh, well, I'm at Lodge right now, and we're about to open up, and because we've got some degrees that we're doing. We're initiating some people. And the next message I got was, "No, you're not. You're in Memphis at the bachelor party." She accused me of.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
God.
Dude, that is always the worst.
Commander Rex, I'm accusing you of treason against the Grand Army of the Republic.
Well, and the problem with that is
dude.
there is like no defense with that, because if you take a picture of, you can't take a picture of you in the lodge.
No, I can't, because we were open at that point, and I'm like, I can't do that, because she actually asked me to send her a picture as proof that I was where I said I was, and I said, we just opened. I cannot do that. And I mean, you're lucky that I'm even really paying attention to your text messages right now, because we're about to initiate this guy. So I can't,
We're about to sacrifice the baby goat, and he's going to eat the raw entrails.
No, that's only.
No,
that's
that is
only,
bad.
No, that's what Doc. That's what Doc does in order to hope that he gets laid every night, is the goat sacrifice, and that is what. No. Doc's initial goat sacrifice is what caused that person to drive their car into the lake. I have solved the mystery.
Deck.
Do what?
Dr. Cyrus Oblivion is responsible for the entirety of the year 2020.
Yes.
I didn't sacrifice the goat soon enough.
Yeah, you angered the gods. So, no. The tropical depressions and everything, those are totally on you.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like, she literally was accusing me of being at a bachelor party that wasn't even happening. And when we were taking a break in between the degrees, and I stepped outside with my dad to smoke a cigarette, and we were standing there talking, and my phone begins to vibrate. And I look at him like, hang on just a second. And I pick up the phone, and when I answer it, she just starts going off. And
yeah,
what is your problem? I told you, I am at the lodge. I am literally standing here right next to my dad, and my dad spoke, and she heard him.
He's like, "What is this fandangled technology?"
And no, my dad actually had a cell phone at that point. Yeah. And she heard him speak, and she got real quiet for just a few minutes. And I had enough at that point. I said, now listen, you've heard, I basically just had to be like, look, I'm with my dad here at the lodge. We're going back in right now. I'll call you later. And I hung up the phone. And I put it on silent, and I sat it on, I sat it like right next to where I was, because I was actually one of the people that was, helping do the initiation. So I just sat it to the side. And when we wrapped everything up, I picked up my phone. Me and my dad were walking outside out to our cars, and I picked up my phone and I looked at it, and like the next message I got was, she's like, "I'm so sorry that I didn't believe you." And I'm thinking, if you had just listened to me the first time, we wouldn't have had to get into an argument via text message and then over the phone when I told you I was exactly where I was.
Yeah. Trust has a lot to do with like relationships and stuff. If you don't trust the other person, then I feel like it's not going to work.
Right. Oh, but no.
But trust can be amended and stuff like
absolutely.
that. But at the same time, it's a vital part.
There is an upside to the story. She made it up to me.
She did?
What did you do? Did she buy you something nice?
I swear, if this is the Good Friends and a bottle of pills, I am literally going.
No, she, let's just say she made it up to me in all the right ways.
Oh, so she basically played Mortal Kombat with you and let you win every single game because you're just a chud.
And she bought him a steak dinner.
And a big
Yeah,
heart.
yeah. If you want to put it in those terms, yeah, we'll just go with that. So,
Oh yeah, big hot steak dinner. Let's go.
but so yeah, I mean, and you're right. I mean, trust can be rebuilt. I mean, but you need to like. What is? She took him to a.
Like...
She took him to a
That's one peanut. That's one way to put it.
She pour you a bionicle.
No, she took me to the rodeo, so to speak. But we'll just leave it at that. But I mean, trust can be rebuilt, but you have to be able. You have to really be able to put your faith in someone else that they're telling you the truth. Like, I mean, I had no reason to lie to her about anything. If I was going to, if I was coming to spend the weekend with her and I was running late, just be like, hey, listen, I got, I'm leaving work a little later than I expected. I'm going to stop and gas up my car. I'll be there in an hour. Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but to just out and out accuse someone of doing something that they're clearly not doing, that's just a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I'll never get over the fact that an ex-girlfriend of mine said that I cared more about Fortnite than I did her. That will never leave me. That will never ever leave me. I'm pretty sure my current girlfriend sometimes thinks that I care a bit too much about Star Wars and Halo, but she would never think that I care about it more than I do her. Like, that's just not in my nature.
Well, I'm sure she probably. I mean, even if she does think that, if you would stop asking her to dress up like Master Chief, you'd probably get a lot further.
I make her dress up as a stormtrooper actually. I used to have target practice. So, where is it? I got a Nerf gun somewhere, and the Nerf darts have got like pins on the end, and I use her for target practice sometimes. She says it's scary, but it's like a trust building situation that we put ourselves in. So it is what it is. Everybody wins here.
Like, she dresses as a stormtrooper, and I get target practice. Everybody wins. So,
yeah, and we all buy a Lego Bionicle just to build.
You should have her come on the show with you one day.
I think she'd be too nervous to speak, but if there's anything about One Direction, she'll just start freaking out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think we would probably avoid that subject at all costs. I mean,
God.
but we both know what a big fan of them the Doc is, so they would have something to bond over.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. She'll probably agree with Scud in the chat, also known as Bonk, that he once said that One Direction can live stream better than me on Twitch, and they agreed on the same point. And I've never been more hurt in my life. In the national
Doc is not fired back at all.
Nah, I'm just letting him. I'm like Muhammad Ali. I'm letting him get his shots in, and then I'm gonna deliver a knockout punch.
Dude, the shit you're putting in the private chat is just scarring me. See,
I can already. Those are just little taps right there. I can totally knock you out.
Is he saying he wants to beat up a 17-year-old? Pretty sure.
Large assortment of meats. Why?
When do you turn 18?
February.
February? Okay. That's not too far off. and then you're legal. So then I could just go ahead and just knock you out real quick.
He's gonna put a large cat over my head.
Hey, hey. Save it for the match, gentlemen. Save it for the match.
Get to
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like the press conferences they used to do for WrestleManias when.
Speaking of that, I was just thinking about that. So the next episode that we do, which we're going to talk about the upcoming one, once we go off the air. But the next episode that we do, we will be holding a small press conference-esque situation for the upcoming match. So everyone that participates in the chat and everything, get your questions ready, because we're gonna legitimately do this. So because we're building the suspense. Do what?
We should get Sterno on one time.
I think we can try to work that out at some point, definitely. But yeah, we will definitely make that happen. But we have hit over the 2-hour mark. But of course, this has always been a joy to do, and we had such a great audience today. Everyone, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, get the notification bell on. If you know someone who would enjoy the show as much as you do, send them a link to it. Tell them to give us a sub, and check us out every Saturday, and come and join us in the live chat. Who knows? We may even send you a link through the Discord. But we love having everyone on. And Wanderer, once again, welcome. As the new co-host of the show, today has been such a blast, and you did a really good job. You were a little nervous there at the beginning, but I think you kind of just fell into place.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot. One time I ran for house captain in my school, and I made a bunch of like really, really bad jokes to pander to all of the younger audience in the school. And I was really nervous at first, but as I went on, I got more confident. And I feel like that's a kind of pattern with me. Like when I get into the swing of things, I'm more confident about things. And somehow I won that, and I got a cool ass tie. So
it's like, ooh, look at me and my special tie. I'm cooler than you are. So
ironically, it was purple as well, so that kind of fits in with my aesthetic.
Well, do you have anything you want to say, Wanderer, to the audience before we sign off today?
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. So like Salty Peanuts, good, Dumpkey, Sterno, everybody, man. All these guys are my buddies from my Discord, and we do game nights from time to time, and we'll talk on a fairly regular basis. So thank you everybody for coming on, and I hope that the news of me becoming the third co-host somewhat excites you, and will hopefully bring you back. At my demand, I will force everybody in my Discord server to come and watch. But yeah, guys, thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity with us, and you too, Doc.
Doc,
Okay.
you got anything you want to say to everybody?
Well, I'm glad to have Wanderer on here, even though we give each other a lot of shit. It's still fun.
It is all fun and games.
Oh, yeah.
It's all fun and games till someone loses an eye.
And then it's awesome.
It's all fun and games until Doc whips out the large hat.
No, the larger hat.
The ultimate power.
But once again, guys, we thank you all so very, very much for tuning in with us again Saturday. This is such a joy. I say it every week, I know, and you're probably getting sick of hearing it, but it's going to continue. This is such a joy to do for everyone every week, and everyone who comes into the chat and hangs out with us and participates and everything like that. we really appreciate your support. We love every single one of you. We're going to start working on trying to get some more guests in here on a weekly or bi-weekly basis and see what we can do. But, once again, guys, we appreciate your love and support for the show. And I'll be and I'm sure, and I'll be putting up stuff in my Discord about the show next week, and I know Wanderer will as well, and we'll get all of that worked out. But so just stay tuned to the Discords, and we will. As a matter of fact, I think Wanderer, you're a mod. I think you are a mod in my Discord. So to all of your friends that here and trust, feel free to send them an invite to mine, but make sure that they read the rules.
All right, yeah, sure, no problem.
But guys, thank you all again so much. Once again, hit the subscription button, get the notification bell on, and we will get an update to everyone as fast as we can about a show next week. But until we see you again, peace be with you.